Did you know that you could take a cloth simulation in Blender, export it as an MDD cache, import that MDD cache, and it will import as a sequence of shape keys that you can then manipulate in post? No? Well, it's not an original thought that I've had. It's something that's been out there for quite some time, but it's not very well documented. Not that many people know about it, but yes, it's totally possible and quite simple to take a cloth simulation, turn it into a sequence of shape keys, and then be able to manipulate your simulation after the fact. It's incredibly powerful, it's incredibly useful. It's just a shame you can't do the same for hair particles. Or can you? Yes, you can totally do it with hair particles. Simulate your hair. Once you've got the hair simulation, make sure you turn off the children, and then we're going to export it as an alembic. We're then going to re-import that alembic. We're going to import the alembic back in. It's going to give us two objects. It's going to give us the hair curves, and it's going to give us the scalp, because that's what we selected, that's what we exported, and we're going to bring it back in. So we've got these hair guides baked into an alembic file. Unfortunately, the alembic file has some caching issues, which means we can't export the MDD directly from there. What we need to do is create an object with no transformations on it, so a cube in the center of the world will do, and then we're going to add a geometry nodes tree to that, and it's the simplest geometry node tree ever. It's just object info, reference the alembic hair, plug it in, Bob's your auntie. We're going to rename this MDD underscore export. This MDD underscore export, we can then export as an MDD. So we'll go export MDD. Let that run. And then we'll go to frame 0 and we'll apply the geometry nodes modifier to our MDD underscore export, and that will create a static frame, a single frame with the exact number of verts and edges that we need to import the MDD onto. So that's what we then do. We import the MDD to that object, and it will import the entire sequence as a sequence of shape keys that we can manipulate to our heart's content. Unfortunately, these are just guide hairs. So what we need to do from here is we need to bring it into geometry node so we can extrapolate more hair from it. The way we do this is we take the alembic scalp that we imported earlier. So we imported that the hair and the scalp came in together. We've already used the hair. So let's now focus on the scalp, and we're going to add curve new hair object, so the geometry node's hair object, and it's going to give us a little geometry node tree. Again, object info, we reference the MDD export with the shape key cache on it, and we convert that to curves, and then we need to start adding our grooming nodes. So in later versions of Blender, there are a bunch of presets that you can drag and drop into this. At the time we created this technique, that didn't exist. So what we did was we bought the Hey Pictures hair grooming nodes. It's a really lovely little system, and we just plug that hair system node into it, and that does all the extrapolation and manipulation of the hair to give us our final groom. And from there, we would sort of render it out, take a look at what we've got. If there's any hair intersections, we can go in, add shape keys or tweak shape keys to push those hairs around and move them out from the intersecting geometry, to add a little bit more pizzazz in an explosion or something like that. You know, we can art direct our particle hair system, we can art direct our cloth, we can take this and make it look the way we want. And that's the power of this system. It's not the simplest system, it is time consuming, but my God, it's changed how we do our shots. As I said, it will work with the regular particle simulations and cloth simulations. It will work with geometry node simulations. It will work with, whatever. As long as you can export it as an alembic to get yourself started, you're golden. So that's it. That's the whole process in a nutshell. Admittedly, that's a little concise, a little compacted. If you want a somewhat more long-winded version, then I'll be uploading that very, very soon. So link at the end. Till then, enjoy the shot.